Tomorrow, the House is expected to vote on releasing the Jeffrey Epstein files, a moment many of Epstein's victims have been waiting years for. And on the eve of this important vote, several of the survivors are demanding accountability, speaking out in a new PSA.
This is me.
This was me.
This is me
when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
There are about 1,000 of us.
It's time to bring the secrets out of the shadows. It's time to shine a light into the darkness.
With us now, an attorney representing 8 of Epstein's accusers, Adam Horowitz. Adam, thank you so much for being with us. Just to start, your reaction on President Trump's reversal on this, going from being against this discharge petition to now telling Republicans they should vote for it.
Yeah, this is quite a dramatic turn by the president, about as big a change as you'll see him make. But let's be clear, the alternative would have been worse for him. He would have been facing a sharp rebuke from Republican Congress members. So it was probably a necessary move for him to make. But we're glad to see that he is in support of this bill, and hopefully some more records will soon see the light of day.
What is your clients and your reaction to news that Pam Bondi is going to be investigating some of the folks that are mentioned in these files, mostly adversaries of President Trump?
Right, and thank you for asking that question, because one of the things that the clients that I'm speaking with want to see is politics taken out of the equation. A crime is a crime, no matter your party. And victims do not want this turned into a political weapon. They simply want justice. And yet, almost every statement from this president and his administration has injected politics into the issue, falsely at times calling it a Democrat hoax, a scam, and even attacking his own supporters for demanding accountability. So that's what victims don't want. Our clients come from every background. I represent abuse survivors who are Democrats, who are Republicans. They don't want this turned into a political football in which only the president's opponents become the target of a criminal investigation.
And I wonder if you're concerned that, given that there are potential investigations, DOJ may then evoke these investigations as a reason to not fully release all the files.
Right, that's a concern. On the one hand, you have the president now calling for the release of records, and at the same breath, he's asking the attorney general to investigate certain people, and it could be turned into a situation where the attorney general says, "Well, we can investigate, but we can't release the records," and so that is a bit of a concern.
How do you know if DOJ does release everything that they have on this? It's difficult to know what may still be out there if you don't have a full understanding of the compendium of records related to Epstein.
Well, that's exactly right. Because these records have been kept secret for so many years, it's difficult to know if we'll get the full accounting. And what clients want above all else is transparency. They want the public to finally see how law enforcement failed them and how Epstein and his accomplices received preferential treatment. We still don't have the full story of how Epstein secured this sweetheart deal and how the system failed at every level.
We know that the prosecutor at the time in South Florida, who wound up being President Trump's labor secretary, Alex Acosta, is directly tied to the outcome of that deal. He testified before Congress. A lot of folks I heard from were dissatisfied by his testimony. What other questions do your clients have for Acosta?
Well, the ultimate question is, why did this deal get entered into? Why were the victims shamed? Why were they disbelieved? Why was Epstein not only given such a light sentence, but all of his accomplices were given immunity? This is such an unusual move that these are the types of questions that we need answers to.
On the question of Ghislaine Maxwell, as we know, she's serving her sentence at a minimum security prison where she was moved. Our MJ Lee has some new reporting that Maxwell is receiving special privileges. Officials told her that some of that simply has to do with safety concerns. What is your reaction to hearing that news?
Yeah, highly unusual move for a sex trafficker convicted to 20 years in jail to be transferred to a minimum security prison, much less the day after meeting with the Deputy Attorney General. Highly unusual move. We still haven't gotten answers to why that ever took place. And so, you know, when we hear from the current administration that they want the records to now see the light of day, we'd like to see records about why Maxwell's transfer happened as well.
There's a lot of chatter out there about a possible commutation of her sentence or a pardon. Her attorneys have denied making either of those requests. But if that does reach President Trump's desk, what would be your message to him?
Well, look, President Trump campaigned on a promise that these records would be released and that anybody who was responsible for abuse of children would be held accountable. But in practice, what we've seen is, you know, the preferential treatment for Maxwell and the delay in getting these records released. The message to the president and the administration, if Maxwell were to be pardoned or her sentence were to be commuted, would be that you are not really on the side of survivors. You're not on the side of victims if you are pardoning a sex trafficker who's been convicted.
Adam Horowitz, we have to leave the conversation there. Thanks so much for being with us this afternoon.
Thank you.